Okay, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Haneesh KM, today's speaker. Haneesh is originally from Kerala, where he first started watching butterflies, and he has been observing and documenting butterflies and moths since 2006. Presently, Haneesh works as an assistant professor in the electrical engineering department at Christ University, Bangalore. He is a proponent of the concept of citizen science, and he has established himself as an expert citizen scientist in the field of butterflies and moths. He is interested in documenting the early stages and host plants of butterflies, especially from the Western Ghats biosphere. He is one of the founding members of the Bengaluru Butterfly Club and is active on various citizen science platforms that record biodiversity observations. Being with Haneesh on a nature walk is always an amazing experience. With his expertise in butterfly taxonomy, knowledge of early stages of butterflies, and his knowledge of larval host plants, he is able to provide an amazing insight to all the participants. And now we will shortly listen to Haneesh also talk to us and share his knowledge about and introduce us to the butterflies of Karnataka as part of the 5th Karnataka Butterfly and Bee Festival proceedings. So please bear with us. In a few minutes, he will join us.
Good afternoon. So it's a 5th Karnataka Butterfly Bee and Festival. So today I'll be talking on the butterflies of Karnataka. So there are the many experts watching here. So my experience is only the watching and documenting butterflies. So I'll try to go through the some of the butterflies which we are usually seeing in the Karnataka, in the state of Karnataka. So my agenda is very simple. So to introduce the butterfly diversity in the state of Karnataka. So and I'm not going to the much the technical details. Okay, more than that, I'll be trying to show you more pictures. Okay, and another thing is that indirectly I'm trying to tell how the citizen science can help in the knowing the nature better, or how we can document the biodiversity better. So that's my talk. So sorry for my camera issue. So I think my video is not visible. Sorry for that. Okay. So actually, when you are looking at the Karnataka is one of the biggest state in India, and is the largest state in terms of the total area concerned, and it has got more than 20% of forest cover, and one of the most biodiverse area in the entire South India. So we have the coastal zones. Actually, the Karnataka has got the long coastal line, and the interesting part is the presence of Western Ghats. Okay, so we have a large span of Western Ghats here, and the species diversity there is well known. Okay, and apart from that, we have a lot of eastern plains and the Deccan Plateau region and more drier region. So it's a mix of various type of geography. So when we are talking about the geography, so we are having a coastline with the lot of the mangroves, lot of the estuaries, lot of rivers flowing into the river, and around 320 kilometers of coastal line and the Karnataka's got. Okay, then comes the Western Ghats. Okay, so it is the one of the biodiversity hotspot of the world. Okay, so and we are lucky to have. We are lucky to have it here, and we are living here. So that's actually we are quite lucky to living close to it. Okay, so 60% of the Western Ghats is mainly located in Karnataka. So actually we have the land from the coastal line to up to 1,200 meters of the mean sea level height, and the rainfall pattern also in the Western Ghats region. So we have the Akumbe, where we are usually getting the highest the rainfall per year. So we are reaching up to 4,000 or 5,000 millimeter. Okay, and we have the evergreen forest. Okay, so it's a one of the biodiversity hotspots. So I mean, actually it is divided into two clusters. One is the Talakaveri and the other one is the Kudremukh, the cluster. So it's one of the World Heritage site recognized by UNESCO. So and other than that, the Bandipur and Nagarhola national parks, so which is the near the border, so near the Kerala and Tamil Nadu border, it is actually coming under the Nilogric biosphere reserve. So it is also another area recognized by the UNESCO for the as a biodiversity hotspot. Yeah. And if you are looking at, so in Karnataka, we have the 5 major national parks: the Anchi National Park, the Bannarghetta, Bandipur, the Kudremukh, and Nagarhola. So these are the famous the 5 national parks. So nationally and internationally famous. Okay. So famous for the big cats, the elephants, and so many other the species. Okay. Also, in the Karnataka has got the 27 wildlife sanctuaries and 7 bird sanctuaries. Okay. So the you mean the most of them are very famous. The Bhadra Reserve, the Brahmagiris, the Dandeli, Sharavati Valley, the Mugambika the reserve. So we have the plenty of the biodiversity hotspots in the Karnataka. And on the other side, we have a lot of drier regions also in Karnataka. So especially the Deccan Plateau, and even if you are going towards the north, the temperature may go up to the 45, 46 degrees in the summer, and we don't have much the rainfalls in that area, and also the species diversity and the vegetation is less there. So Karnataka is a good example of the huge diversity. So we have different types of the forests, from evergreen forest to semi-evergreen, the deciduous forest, the scrub forest. So the diversity even in the type of geography, the type of forest. So it's it's actually a biodiversity heaven. So actually if you are just going in the international, even at the international level, people are attracted to here for the big cat sightings. Okay, so elephants and a lot of other mammals. Okay, and actually this forest support around 25% of the elephant population in India, and more than 10% of the tiger population. Okay, one of the biodiverse region in the entire country, and even in the globally, it is one of the biodiversity hotspots. Okay, now actually when we are talking in the butterfly and bee festival. Okay, so not only the big animals and big mammals, or these are the iconic ones, the tigers, the elephants, so the people are easily attracted to them. Okay, but now we are slowly recognizing the smaller species as the insects and the other organisms in the ecosystem, so which are even equally the important as the big ones. So that is a contest in which every year we are going for the butterfly and bee festival. So it is a chance to celebrate the butterfly and bee diversity, as well as to tell that how they are important to our
Participants, please mute. The person from Oppo 53F3, please mute. Thank you.
Please.
Haneesh sir, can you, sorry for disturbing, can you make it full screen, the presentation?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, fine. I think it is not full screen. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, I'll stop sharing and do it again. I think it is full screen. Okay. So is it full screen or
no? Yeah, press F11 on the browser. I think.
Stop. Sharing.
oh. Okay. 1 second. I'm not getting the option. Oh, yeah.
You share the screen, then press the F11 on
Yeah. Fine. Okay. So now it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the why we are going for the butterflies. Okay. So butterflies are considered as a biodiversity indicator. So the last day the Ashok sir also was talking on the same. So actually they are having a shorter lifespan, and their life is depending on the host plants and nectar plants and the many other the predators or in the ecosystem. So even the smallest temperature changes can affect the life stages. Okay, and in a shorter time span they will be completing the life cycle. So actually their life will be impacted quickly by the changes in the ecosystem as well as the changes in the temperature, all that thing. So it's a good indicator to check the health of an ecosystem. So when we are going for a particular ecosystem, if you are seeing that a more number of butterflies, that indicates that the vegetation is the diverse, even the nectar plants are there, host plants are there, even predators are there, and many other organisms are feeding on these butterflies. So that indicates that that is a healthy ecosystem. So and especially when we are talking more on the global warming and all. So these are the one easier way to see how the nature is responding to all this global warming and all. So we can easily find it through the butterflies. So that's why we are going to study more on butterflies. Okay, so before I'm just going to the pictures, so I have taken most of the pictures from the Butterflies of India website, because it's the one of the citizen science forums. So and it is the one of the easiest place you can get all the butterfly records, all the distribution, and all the which are the places it is the seen, and which are the I told in this talk, I'm trying to indirectly tell how the powerful the citizen science is. So that is the why I just taken most of the pictures from the Butterflies in India website, and actually that pictures contain the credits also. That is why I gone for that. Okay, so actually the butterflies of Karnataka, actually we have around 315 species belongs to 5 families. So there are some small discrepancies in the numbers. Okay. So actually the Travancore says it is 316. After that, 1 or 2 additions or the 1 or 2 revalidations required. Okay. So it is mainly belonging to the 5 families. Okay. So the first one is the Papillae family. So there you are seeing that the large swallowtail butterflies. So they are bigger. Usually they can be seen with the long swallowtails. So that's why they are known as swallowtails. Okay. So we have 19 the swallowtail butterflies here. So actually the common rose, crimson roses, the narrow banded blue bottle, the jays, all that things are the some of the big beautiful butterflies. Okay, and the some of them are endemic to Western Ghats, like in the Western Ghats. Okay, and this is the identified the Sahyadri bird wing or minnows, so that as the state butterfly, because it's a matter of pride for the entire Karnataka, because it's one of the beautiful butterfly and the biggest butterfly in India. And I mean, it also carries the colors, the yellow and red color, which resembles the Karnataka flag. So, I mean, the significance of the announcing a state butterfly is, okay, it can easily connect to the public as a conservation measure. So it can help easily connecting to the people. You can easily tell the people the importance of butterflies, as well as it can also help the butterfly when your people are looking to conserve the habitat for that, so it will be helping the butterfly also. So it's the pride moment for the entire state, entire people. So actually it's mainly belonging to the Western Ghats. Okay, and usually the place like Bangalore, so in the eastern extensions, you can see that through the BR Hills, the Banarghatra National Park. So we can see them, usually in the Bangalore. So yeah, I think even yesterday you are the butterfly festival, we are seeing it even in the JPRF. So, and actually they are the breeding on the creepers, the Aristolochia creepers. Okay, so which are usually found on this the patches. So we are seeing them. So that's why it is they recognized as a state butterfly of Karnataka. Okay, and we have a few more other endemic in the Western Ghats, like the Malabar banded swallowtail. Okay, and the blue Mormon you can see even in the urban areas. So it is the state butterfly of Maharashtra. Okay, and the mimes, the Malabar raven, and the red helen, all these are belonging to this the Papillae family. Okay, and we have 2-3 peacocks. So they are having the peacock colors on their wings, so that's why they are known as peacocks. So we have the common banded peacock. So common banded peacock usually seen in drier regions, so than the Western Ghats. So they can be seen in even drier regions. So if you are going into the Mysore or Banarghata region, or even in the slightly northern region, so we can see them in the flying India, especially in the summer months. You can easily spot them. Then we have the Paris peacock. Paris peacock you can see more in the Western Ghats regions. Okay, and the Malabar banded peacock. Actually, the Malabar banded peacock is a state butterfly of Karnataka. Okay, and actually it can be seen from the Maharashtra to the Kerala. So in the mid Kerala, so it is reported. So, and usually it is coming after the monsoon, post monsoon, you can see them in big numbers. And the only issue is that it is breeding only, it is known to breed only on one particular species of tree, that is known as the Xanthophyllum ruster, and that's why and that tree is having a lot of thorns. So
beautiful butterflies
don't usually prefer that tree. So there are a lot of the efforts are coming to conserve that tree, so that the butterfly also can be conserved. Okay, so this actually the screenshot I taken from the Butterflies of India website, the iPhone, the butterflies.org. So there the people are contributing the records, butterfly records. Okay, and they are actually that distribution is the marked on the map, so that you can easily get the how the distribution is, where this butterfly can be seen, and even the which are the months it is sighted. So this is a power of the citizen science. So you can see that even with a few number of sightings or few number of reports, you can get an idea about where this butterfly belongs to, or what is the distribution, which are the months you can see them. Okay, so you need to watch butterflies. You can observe them, you can click them, you can share with them some of the citizen science forums like the Indian Butterflies of India or iNaturalist, so that it will it can help the scientific community. So these are the some of the endemic butterflies in the Western Ghats. Okay, so and this is a Malabar banded swallowtail, and this is a typical life cycle of a fly. Goes through the the metamorphosis. Okay, the eggs, the caterpillar, pupa, and the adult. Okay, and usually the Papillae butterflies having slightly bigger caterpillar, and they make their pupa with the silk thread around. Okay, and this is the the caterpillar of the Sahyadri birdwing. So usually it is feeding on the Aristolochia plants. Okay, so it can be identified from other members in the genus from its white band on it. Okay, so it will be a slight. It will be restricted to these two segments. So that is how usually we'll be identify them from the caterpillar. Okay, and some of the other caterpillars belongs to this group. So not
Hello, Haneesh sir. Haneesh sir.
I think there is a little snack. Let us just wait for a minute for Haneesh to join back.
is it visible now?
It's visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. So this a second family. So actually, these are known as the whites and yellows Periidae family. So these butterflies are slightly smaller compared to the swallowtails, and they are having slightly weaker flight compared to the swallowtail. Okay, but they usually appears in the white and yellow color. But you have much more colorful butterflies in this particular group. Okay, some of them are commonly seen in your gardens and all. Okay, so we have the gulls, the common gulls, the pioneers, the lesser gulls and all. Okay, and this is known as the cabbage white. Okay, so this cabbage white is not a very common butterfly in Karnataka. So it is recording usually from the high altitudes of the Karnataka, Western Ghats. Okay, so we have only few records of the cabbage white in the Karnataka. Okay, but the lesser gull is more a forest butterfly, forest dwelling butterfly, whereas the gulls and the pioneers you can see even in the drier regions. So usually they breed on the various species of Caparis. So wherever that is available, it is there. And then we have the Jezebels. Okay, so we have mainly the common Jezebel. Okay, then this is a forest dwelling butterfly which looks similar to your Jezebel. It is known as the painted sawtooth. Okay, so its markings are different. So and the orange tips, the white and yellow orange tips. So usually this you can see even in Bangalore or the areas near to that. So they are usually seen in even semi-arid areas. Okay, that if we have few albatrosses. Okay, So albatrosses are the the medium-sized white butterflies. Okay. So if you are going into the Western Ghats in the summer and all, you can see them. The puddling. So they'll be sipping the nutrients from the river birds. Okay. So especially during the summer months, you can see them in big numbers on the river birds and all. Okay. Then there is another similar species known as the lesser gull. Okay. So and the stripe, the albatross. Okay. Then the chocolate albatross is in the mainly into the Western Ghat regions. Okay. But it's one of the beautiful butterfly. Okay. Then the we have some Salmon Arabs. Okay. So Salmon Arabs, actually you can see it in the semi-arid or arid areas. So even slightly drier areas, you can see them. We have two the Salmon Arabs, the large Salmon Arab and small Salmon Arab. Okay. And this is the known as the great orange tip. So it's a slightly bigger butterfly. Okay. And you can see them with, identify them with the big orange, the marking on the wing tip. Okay. And this is known as a psyche. So that is a very small restless butterfly. So usually it is a bit difficult to click them. So it is very difficult to seek. And we have a few orange tips. So this group of butterflies generally known as the orange tips, because their wings having some orange or the crimson marking. So this one is a crimson tip. Then we have the little orange tip, the plain orange tip. Okay. So they can also be seen in the forest patches as well as the nearby areas. Okay. So we have the wanderers. So this is a common wanderer, and actually you can see that the male and female are showing the dimorphism. This one is a female of the common wanderer. Okay. And this is a dark wanderer. Okay. So it's a separate species. It will be having a broader dark the border. Okay. And these are the two very common butterfly. You can see it everywhere. So the lemon emigrant and the mottled emigrant. Okay. So you can see them in your garden. So they may be breeding on various the plants like the golden shower, the senna, sennas, or the Cassia fistula. You can see them breeding on in big numbers. So you'd have seen them in your garden, all that thing. Okay. And we have few the grass yellows. Okay. So usually they are living very close to the ground. So they'll be breeding on smaller plants. Okay. And usually they are in yellow color. So the small grass yellow, spotless grass yellow, the common grass yellow, and we have one forest dwelling species, that is a one spot grass yellow. So even near the Bangalore city, we are seeing them. So now we have a recent record from the value school. So the one spot grass yellow. Okay. Another one added to the Karnataka butterfly list is the in Nilogric grass yellow. Okay. So actually this is seen in the areas near to the Nilogric bioreserve. So the areas near the Nagarhola and Bandipur areas. So you can see them. This particular butterfly, it is known as the Nilogric yellow, and this one is a special one. So this is known as a Nilogric clouded yellow. So which is usually seen in the higher altitudes. Okay. So the altitude similar to Nilogric. Okay. So there you can see them, the Nilogric clouded yellow. But in Karnataka, we don't have much records of the Nilogric clouded yellow, but that may be seen in the Coorg or the Kudremukh areas. In the higher altitudes, you may find them. That is the Nilogric clouded yellow. Okay. So this is a typical life cycle of a period butterfly. So you would have seen them on the Cassia fistula tree or any senna plants. Okay. So the egg usually will be of spindle shaped and the small thin caterpillar. Okay. And they'll be making their pupa by hanging from some leaf or some ceilings. So these are the typical life cycle. So these are some of the other caterpillars from this group. So as I mentioned, so the caterpillars are also very beautiful in most of the butterflies. Okay. So, and you can see that the previous family, you have seen that the caterpillars are big, so with the very stout body, but here you can see them are with a thin body. Okay. So this is the typical the life stages. So this is how usually they make pupa. They'll hang from some support and they'll be making the pupa there. Okay. So the second family, now we have the family known as the Nymphalidae. Okay. So usually in this, some of the butterflies in this group having, all these are insects. So usually we expect the 6 legs. Okay. But in this, some of the butterflies having, the first 2 legs are the reduced. So usually when you are seeing, sometimes you will be seeing only 4 legs. Okay. So that's why this family is also known as the brush-footed butterflies. Okay. So we have more number of butterflies belonging to this group, and different genus are there. So that's why you can see them in more diverse group. It's a more diverse group. So some of them are very common, like the common castor, angle castor. So which are very commonly seen in your habitats, okay, especially in the urban habitat or even in the drier region. You can see the common castors. Okay. So some of them are forest dwellings, something like the black prince, okay, or the painted courtesan. Painted courtesan is not a common butterfly, but they are seeing in more vegetative areas. Okay. And this one is purely, it's known as a joker because its wing marking is resembling to a joker's face. Okay. So that's why it is known as a joker, and the joker is more restricted to drier regions. So if even in North Karnataka, or even if you are going to the Maharashtra border in the Bijapur side, or in the Gulbarga side, you can see them in the joker. So they are breeding on different nettle plants. So that's why and they can be seen more there than in the Western Ghats region. So the habitat is actually the determining which species can be in which place. Okay. So other group is the Caraxes. Okay. So here we have few nawabs. Okay. And the Tony Nawab is the more restricted into the highly wooded areas. Okay. Whereas the Black Raja is more common even in the villages. Okay. So they are usually breeding on even on the tamarind trees. Okay. So and they more than flowers, they'll be trying to nectar from the fruits or the dead animals or the such things. So they are not often seen on flowers. Okay. And this one is actually a slightly rare butterfly. It is known as the Sahyadri blue nawab. Okay. So the one main issue is that they are mainly belonging to the canopies in the forest, so they cannot be easily seen at your eye levels. So that's one reason why they are not easily spotted. Okay. But you can see them in the Western Ghats regions, in the Brahmagiris or Coorg, or if you are going into the Someswara Wildlife Sanctuary and all, sometimes you may try to find them. So that is the blue nawab, the Sahyadri blue nawab. Okay. But we don't have much sightings of that. So this is known as a map butterfly. Okay. So this is another one, the restricted, mainly in the Western Ghats region. So it is known as map because there is a map like the markings on its wings. One of the delicate butterfly, one of the most beautiful butterfly. Okay. So if you are seeing in the summer months, sometimes you will be encountering it in the forest patches. Okay. So as a match. Okay. And next is the Danidae group. Okay. So we have generally we'll be calling it as tigers and crows. Okay. So these are plain tiger, the striped tiger, and we have a few crows, the common crow and the double-banded crow. Okay. And these crows. Okay. So usually they'll be migrating. So you can see that in Karnataka, we observe the migration of butterflies, especially the crows, the common crow and double-banded crow, and as well as the blue tiger and dark blue tiger. So before the monsoon, in order to avoid the heavy rains, so they'll be migrating from the Western Ghats, and they'll be moving into the eastern plains and even to the eastern Ghats. Okay, once the monsoon is over, and after that they'll be coming back into the Western Ghat region. So in the Karnataka, especially in the Mysore belt and in the Bangalore region, we'll be usually seeing this migration almost every year. Okay, some years we are watching them for many days. Okay, so it's a beautiful sight. Okay. And we need to, there are some researches happened on the movement of these butterflies. Okay, but more research is to be done on the migration of butterflies to know the exact reason for the migration and from where they are coming, where they are going, whether they are settling down somewhere, whether how they are in the generation. So the lot of studies to be done on that one. So these are the two main species involved that one. Okay. So another two beautiful butterflies are, one is the Malabar tree nymph. Okay, so as name mentioned, it is the one of the most beautiful butterfly. You can see it in the Western Ghat, and it is quite big. Okay, and its flight is the very elegant. So you can see in the Western Ghat, you can see them up to the Goa. Okay, so Goa and some part of lower part of the Maharashtra, you can see them. Okay, so when you're going into the forest, so you can see them flying around. Okay, so it's a beautiful sight. So another one is it's known as the Nilogric tiger. Okay, so but this butterfly is having a slightly different habitat. So they are from this map, you can see that they are belonging to the higher altitudes of the Western Ghats. Okay, so you can see that they can be seen in Nilgiris, okay, the higher altitudes in the Coorg, okay, and even in the Kudremukh, the Kemenagundi areas. So only they are restricted to the higher altitudes. So you can see that these are the few records in the iFrown Butterflies India website. So from that you can easily how these butterflies are the distributed. Okay, so which are the months you can see them. Okay, so if you want to see them, you go to Coorg, Nilgiris, or even to the Kudremukh areas. So you may find it in them, especially after post monsoon. So the January, February month and all, the sightings are more for these butterflies. Okay, so these are the blue tiger and dark blue tiger. These are the two main migrating butterflies. Okay, so which are commonly seen in the most of the places with some good vegetation. And this is the glassy tiger, but this is more restricted into the in the Western Ghat regions. Okay, and the tawny coster you can see almost everywhere. Okay, especially in the drier regions. So they breed on the passiflora. So various the wild passiflora. So wherever usually they are seen in the drier regions. So there's a tawny coster. This is known as the Tamil lacewing or Sahyadri lacewing. So, and you can see again them. It's restricted to the Western Ghat regions. Okay, and we have the club beak and the lobed beak. Okay, so in some the patches in the forest in the Western Ghats, some especially during the summer months, okay, you can see them in big numbers. Okay, so they'll be dispersing from one place to another. Okay, near the waterfall and all. Sometimes you will be seeing them in big numbers. So these are the two interesting species. Okay, then some the what we'll call it as sun-loving butterflies. Okay, so with the sun-colored butterflies, we have the common leopard. Common leopard is pretty common in most of the areas. Okay, and this is a Tamil yeoman. Actually, is a state butterfly of Tamil Nadu. Okay, and they are more restricted into the Ghats. okay, or in the foothills. Okay. And this small leopard is having very restricted the habitat. Okay, so they are not seen entirely through the Western Ghats, but they are into some certain habitat like the Coorg areas, or in the actually in the Western Ghats area near to the Agumbe and all, we have seen them sometimes. Okay, and the cruiser, okay, and cruiser is a very fast flying one. Okay, and these are the common ones, the common baron. So usually breeding on the mango trees and all, and they may be eating the mangoes and other fruits. Okay, so they are mainly feeding on the fruits. Okay, and this one is the Godi baron, is they breeding on the different parasite plants. And then these two are the mainly restricted to the forest patches. Okay, and you can see that the baronet. Okay, so baronet is unlike the other butterflies. They are mainly into the drier regions. Okay, so you can see them, that a lot of records from Bangalore and nearby area, Bangalore, Mysore, and so not much records in the Western Ghats regions. Okay, so they are more into the slightly drier areas. So they are usually breeding on the Diospyros species. Okay. Then we have the surgeons. Okay, we have few surgeons: the color surgeon, the staff surgeon, the black vein surgeon, the common surgeon. So these are the mainly belonging to the slightly heavily vegetated areas. Okay, but the commander is slightly seen more into some gardens, with especially with the Mosanda plants and all. Even in Bangalore city, we are watching them occasionally. Okay, so that's a commander butterfly. Okay, and then we have few Sahyadris. Okay, so some Sahyadris are a bit tricky to recognize properly. Okay, so we have the common sailor, the chestnut streaked sailor, short banded sailor, the clear sailor, sullied sailor, and all. Okay, and the this one is an interesting one. So usually this we are seeing in the Western Ghats region, in the Dakshina Kannada district or Uttara Kannada district, we are seeing them. Okay, this is known as a yellow jack sailor. Okay, and we have two the laskers. Okay, so one is known as common lasker and extra lasker. So we are getting them even in Bangalore or near to the Bangalore outskirts. Okay, but it's slightly difficult to distinguish them. So if you are need to closely examine the specimen to distinguish these two species, the common and the extra lasker. Okay, and those who are using the Butterflies of India website. Okay, so one of the main features of that website is actually it is capturing the date of observation. So from that you can easily see that which are the months you can see that butterflies. Okay, so more frequently. So if you are seeing in the Karnataka record for this particular Sahyadri clipper. Okay, so you can see them that the more number is in the post-monsoon months, that is the July, August, September, October. You can see them in big numbers. Okay, other months the number is less. Okay, so that indicates that this in the probability of watching them. Okay, is more during the post-monsoon months. Okay, so like in the drier months, it is comparatively less. Okay, so especially in the Western Ghats regions, the sightings are very less. Okay, after during the summer months. Okay, so this you'll be, even with a few records, you'll be getting a good insight about how this butterfly is distributed. So which place it is, you can see them, and which month is the most probable time to watch them. Okay, so that information we will be getting from at least from a few records. So this is the importance of the putting your records into some of the curated websites like the Butterflies of India. You can submit your record with your place and date. So that place and date will be returning with a lot of values, because you'll be getting a lot more information, a lot more insight about the distribution and I mean, and the how I mean the yearly distribution or month-wise distribution of the butterflies. Okay, so please see this distribution map. Please see the month-wise distribution maps in the iPhone butterflies website, so that you'll be easily find out that I mean this butterfly can be seen in this area. Probably this month is the best time to watch them. Okay, so that is how you can learn more about it. Okay, what type of habitat it is residing, or what type of the climate it prefers. So you can easily make out from such data. Okay, so this says that you need to involve more into the documenting them properly. So documenting them properly means you need to have the place and date. Okay, so that will add a lot of value into your the records. So than just sharing it in the WhatsApp or in Facebook. So that is for I mean doesn't add into the science. Okay, but if you are contributing into some of the citizen science forums, it will be definitely helping the science as well as the butterfly. Okay, so that's what I just want to tell that one. And these are the egg flies. Okay, so some of them are I mean these are having the male and female of the great egg fly. Okay, and this is a male of Danaid egg fly and female having two different forms. Okay, so a lot of interesting things are in butterflies. So females may be coming in different forms. Okay, this is a typical life cycle of a Nymphalidae butterfly. Okay, so sometimes the caterpillar is with the spikes on the body. Okay, usually they are not itchy like your moth caterpillar, but and they'll be having some protective spikes on the body. Okay, and usually they'll be hanging their pupa from some support. Okay, they'll be selecting some safe and secure place to make their pupa. Okay, and we have a lot of diversity in this group. So this is the 6 pansies. Okay, so some pansies are belonging to the drier regions. Okay, but some pansies like the grey pansy or peacock pansy, they prefer more wet patches or near to the water bodies. Okay, whereas the yellow and blue pansy are more belongs to the drier regions. Okay, and some of them are good in the mingling or the camouflaging with the surroundings. Okay, so these two are the two main ones, which is having one is the Sahyadri blue oak leaf. Okay, so you can see the leaf. Okay, and this is a Malabar autumn leaf. So these are the two butterflies belonging to the region. Okay, which is having the leaf size bodies. Okay, and some of the other beautiful ones, the blue admirals. Okay, and actually the painted lady is actually a global the migrant. Okay, so if you are tracking them, it will be interesting. Sometimes you can see them coming from even the Africa to Middle East through the Iran, Pakistan, and all that may be reaching in India. Okay, so we need to study more to get the exact route which is taking, exact path it is taking. But you can see that yearly along with the rains, they are arriving in most of the places. Okay, and this Sahyadri admiral. Okay, like in the some other the endemics in the region. So they are also belonging to the higher altitudes of the Western Ghats. So you can see them in Chikmagalur, the BR Hills, okay, or the Nilogric region, the Coorg region. So they are belonging to only the higher altitudes, or they are restricted to the only higher altitudes. Let's see, Sahyadri blue admiral. Okay, and some of the evening browns, the common. So evening brown, usually it is coming to your the home at night into the light. Okay, so they prefer lower light. Okay, and you can see them among the dry leaves. Okay, and then the dark evening brown, okay, then great evening brown, and this is a special one. This is known as the Travancore evening brown. Okay, so but it is not a common one. So we are having few records from the Western Ghats. Okay, in the Agumbe region and the Coorg region, we have few records of this the Travancore evening brown, and this known as a duffer. So usually that can be seen in the forest patches with the bamboo trees. Okay. And a few tree browns. Okay, we have the two-eyed tree brown, the common tree brown, the bamboo tree browns, and all. Okay, so usually they'll be the camouflaging in the surroundings, so it's not easy to locate them in the dry leaves or in the bamboo patches. Okay, and we have a few bush browns. Okay, so few bush browns, some of the bush browns are very difficult to distinguish, because you need to see the ID key. That cannot be seen from your upper side or underside alone. So you need to examine the specimen to see the male brand. Okay, then only you can easily recognize them. Okay. And the Tamil bush brown, actually it is, the restricted to some area. Okay, but the one of the easier place you can watch them is the IASC campus in Bangalore. Okay, so we don't know how they are restricted into that area. Okay, and the Meadows brown, the glad eye bush browns. Okay, so that are more into the Western Ghats regions. Okay. Another interesting one is the red eye bush brown. Okay, red eye bush brown also having the restricted the habitat, so you can see them in the Nilogric biosphere, the Bandipur, the Nagarhola, the Coorg side. Okay, some months we can see them red eye bush brown. Okay, then we have few ring butterflies, 3 ring, 4 ring, 5 ring. Okay, and the 3 ring is an interesting species because they prefer the drier region. You can see them in the northern Karnataka side, the Bangalore, and even in the northern side, you can see them, the common 3 ring. So it is more into the drier regions than the wet patches. Okay. And this is known as a serrated firing. Okay, so actually we have identified the presence of this one, not so long, but it was recorded from some other places. But now, we know they are. They can be easily seen in some of the mountains near the Bangalore, Tumkur, and all. So if you are going to the Mandaragiri or Madhugiri or Devanara, Durga, so you may be seeing them because they prefer higher altitudes. They'll be sitting on the ground or the rocks. So, and that is the serrated firing. So it's having different habitat. Then the Sahyadri baby firing, so it's not common. Okay, but we have few records from Bangalore. And this the banded cat eye is a Western Ghats species, so it's a forest species. Yeah. Now actually this is a separate family. Okay, so Rheodinidae, the metal marks. Okay, so we have only 2 species in the Western Ghats region or in the Karnataka. So one is the plum Judy, and another one is the Safed double-banded Judy, and this is the early stages of that butterfly. Okay, so and it is a bit tricky to distinguish them. So this is having the suffused double band. Okay, so this usually we'll be identifying them with their distribution and all. Okay, and the another big family is the blues. Okay, the Lysanidae family. Okay, so usually the Ashok's and Gupta's sir, actually we usually giving the identification keys for this group. Okay, so some of them are a bit tricky to use them because they are smaller, and they are known as blues because most of the butterflies having a blue color in the upper wings. Okay, when they open the wing, they'll be having the blue color. Okay, so that's why they are known as the blues. Okay, and we have a lot of the diversity in this group. Okay, so usually they are smaller in size. Okay, so but there are a lot of variations are there, a lot of the diversity is there. We have the bubble blues. Okay, the bright bubble blue, the dark bubble blue, and the dull bubble blue. Okay, so the dull bubble blue is more belongs to the drier regions. Okay, so but the others, one you can see them in the mid ranges, foothills, and all. Sometimes you can see them. Okay, then the Peacocks. Okay, then the Hedge Blues. the common hedge blue is more common in most of the areas, but the plain hedge blue and all restricted into more vegetative area. Okay, but we have few records in even in Bangalore, the plain hedge blue. Okay, then these are some of the common ones. Okay, you would have seen in your gardens. Okay, the gram blue, the plain cupids, in dry regions you'll be seeing the small cupids. Okay, and some of them like this, the Deccan cupid, or previously known as Indian cupid. So these are having slightly restricted the habitat. Okay, so we are in Bangalore, near Bangalore, we have records from the Devarana, Durga, Kolar, Andargange and all. Okay, so this Deccan cupid. Okay, and the pointed ciliate blue. Okay, and that's a you can see them in Coorg. Okay, or especially in the forest patches or near the wet patches, you can see them, the pointed the line blue that is slightly bigger. Okay, but these are the commons, the pea blues, the zebra blues, the ceruleans, and the Malayan. So we have few records. Okay, so near the Bangalore, so Devanara Durga, we are reported it. Okay, but you can see them in the Western Ghats region, especially you can go and watch them during the summer months. Okay, in the paddling season, you can see them. And this is one complex group. Okay, so Nakadubas and the line blues. Okay, so they are a bit difficult to distinguish them properly, especially for the beginners. It is a bit trick. So we have some six line blues, 4-line blues. Okay, the number depends on the how many the bands on the forewing of this particular butterfly. Okay, but it's a slightly complex group, but it's a quite interesting group. Okay, and we have few Pierots. Okay, so some of them are common, the dark Pierrot, but we have some Pyrocus genus. Okay, so that's a bit tricky to identify. We have the Balkan Pierrots, the striped Pierrots, the Pyrocus cullinara, Nara, the Balkanica and all. Okay, so that are a bit difficult to distinguish unless if you are seeing the male upper wings. Okay, and this is the red Pierrot. So usually you can easily attract them by planting some Kalonje plants at home. So usually they'll be easily coming to your home if you are planting that one. Okay, then some grass blues. Okay, so usually they'll be belonging to the near the ground. They'll be breeding on grass. Okay, so quite common in most of the places. Okay, but this one, the white hedge blue. Okay, so usually this is seen in higher altitudes. Okay, the Coorg, the Brahmagiris, the Someshwara and all, you can see them, the Sahyadri white hedge blue. Okay. And we have few the oak blues. Okay, and the silver streak blue, the purple leaf blue. So these are not common, but they are beautiful butterflies. Okay, belonging to the Lycanidae family. Okay, and this is the lilac silver line. Okay, so one of the most interesting species in Bangalore or in Karnataka. So actually we know only few habitat for this particular butterfly, and it is rediscovered after the more than 100 years. Okay, by Nitin. Okay, and after that the Ashok sir and team, they've done the lot of work on this studying more about the life of this butterfly. Okay, so it's a quite interesting one, but it's having limited habitat. That also it is under threat now. So some of the serious conservation efforts to be want to help this butterfly. Okay, and we have few other the silver lines. Okay, so they have some silver like the lines on the body, so that's why the known as silver line. We have the common silver line, the short silver line, plumbeous. Okay, and then the scale short silver line. So that are the common silver line is more common, but others are not so common. And we have a few the oak blues. Okay, so actually the large oak blue can be seen even in slightly the drier regions, but the other oak blues are mostly belonging to the Western Ghats. Okay, like the dusted oak blue, okay, or the earlier it was known as the Tamil oak blue, okay, the center oak blue, and the rosy oak blue. These are the restricted to the mainly to the Western Ghats regions, okay, and they are the endemic there, the rosy and the dusted oak blue. And the aberrant oak blue, we have only few records. Okay, so actually it's an elusive butterfly. We have only few records, some from the Siddhapur regions, and then the Dandeli, and even from the areas near to the Mangalore. So there are few records of Indian aberrant oak blue. Okay. And some of the other interesting ones, the tinsels, the imperial, the plains, that can be seen in the Western Ghats region, and the Malabar flash is again slightly rare one. Okay, so you can watch them near Coorg or the Kerala borders near the Brahmagiris and all. You can see them, but whereas the cornelian Goa blues and all more common in the drier region, especially if you are going into the pomegranate farms and all, you can see them Goa blues, okay, because they breed inside the pomegranate fruits. Okay, so the farmers usually complain that this butterfly is becoming a pest there. Okay, so especially in the northern Karnataka and all, some pomegranate farms and all, you can easily spot them. Okay, then the large Goa blue is, we have only a few records. Okay, so it's comparatively uncommon. Okay, but the some more other beautiful ones, we have onyx. Okay, so they are also not very common. And this the orchid tit. Okay, so orchid tits are breeding on orchids in the wet forests. Okay, but whereas this monkey puzzle is, you can see almost everywhere. Okay, but the not so common in the drier region, but in the forest patches or near to that you can see. And fluffy tit is the one of the beautiful butterfly, but the not easy to locate them, so because they are having less number. Yeah. The broad-tailed royal, okay, some we have a group royals, the peacock royal, the banded royals, the plain blue royal, and the branded royal. Okay, so this some royals like the broad-tailed royal, they are restricted to the higher altitudes. Okay, but some something like the peacock royal, they are more common. Okay. Another one is the silver royal. Okay, actually we have only few records of this silver royal from the state. Okay, so we have records from the again from the Siddhapur, the Dandeli region. Okay, so of this Sahyadri blue royal. Okay, and red spot is slightly common compared to the other one. Okay, and we have few olds. Okay, so this common old, as I mentioned earlier, they are more into they usually breed on the mangroves, okay, the dairy species. So you can see them near the coastlines. You can see them near the coastal lines. That's a common old. Okay, but whereas this the old kings, okay, the all kings, the pale green olet and all, so they are more into the higher altitudes. Okay, so in pale green olet, we are reported from Coorg, the Sakleshpur, the Hulikal regions. Okay, but the all king, if you want to see, you go to the Tadiyandumol or the Honey Valley in Coorg. Okay, so similarly the orange tail old. Okay, so we have some records from the Banarghata regions and even near the Bangalore, we have some records. Okay, but whereas the common banded owl is quite common. Okay, but the white banded owl is more into the forest. Okay, and the dingy scrub hopper, they belongs to the higher altitudes. Okay, but whereas the scrub hoppers, they are into the grasses, among the grasses in the near the Western Ghats biosphere. Okay, and we have some records like the Vindhyan bob, the Hampson Sud job or wax dart. Okay, the Kurk forest hopper. So these are not common, but they are restricted into some the certain habitats, especially in the Kurk area and all you can see. Okay, but this is a comparatively newer butterfly in the region, the Arenata taurus, the palm red eye, the banana skipper. So actually, they are breeding on banana plantations, okay, but not causing much troubles to the farmers now because the population is now under control. Okay, and few species from the Halpe family, the aces, okay, bispot banded ace, the Moor's ace, Indian ace, and the white branded ace. Okay, and this the your common the giant red eye, so which usually you can see in your garden center. Okay. So we have few the grass diamonds, restricted diamonds, okay, and the dusky part wing. So and the tree flitter. Okay. So I'll just go through the pitches so that you can see them how diverse they are, how the special they are. If you are having any questions, we'll take at the end, okay, so that I can talk more on it. Okay. So yellow base flitter, you can see it in the Kurk regions. Okay. Similarly, the unbranded eyes, okay, and the small pombo, okay, and Nilogric plain ace. Okay. So it's having very restricted the habitat, okay, especially in the higher altitudes of the Nilogiri biosphere. Okay. The Madras ace. Okay. But whereas the Indian palm bomb is quite common, and maculated lancer, I mean, mainly belongs to the forests where you can see the calamus plants commonly. Okay. And the Sographetus, okay, so this one of the butterfly recently added to the Western Ghats list. Okay. And the Karwar swift. Okay, so actually it is more common in Bangalore and all. Okay, but you can see it in the Western Ghat area, Karwar and all. This is the blank swift. Okay, and few more swifts like the large branded swift, the conjoined swift. Okay, so few swifts are there. Okay, and few dartlets. Okay, and some palm darts are there, and the few flats also belonging to the family of Hesperidae. Okay, so in this last family, so you can see them. I mean, they also belongs to the same family, but they are in a slightly different appearance. They're generally known as the flats. Okay, usually they sit with the wings open, so with the flats. So we have the different flats. Some of them are restricted to the Western Ghat. Okay, but something like the spotted small flat and all, they are more into the rocky terrains and all. Okay, so and whereas the Asian marble skipper and all, they'll be belonging to the eastern plains mainly. Okay, and some are restricted to the Ghats, like this chestnut angle or the I mean the actually the yellow-breasted flat, the black angle, all that are restricted to the Ghats. Okay, but we have some interesting addition to the list: the spotted angles, the Alida angle. So the few sightings near Bangalore and within and near the Bangalore city. So Magali Durga, they have recorded the Alida angle, and few records of the spotted angle from the Savan Durga area and all near the by areas. Okay. So, and I'll be concluding with 2-3 points. Okay. So we have, I mean, now we have more the watches. Okay, so the people who watch butterflies very seriously and document them. Okay, so with that we could add some of the the butterflies which are elusive, so which we couldn't find after the historical records. Okay, so we have the Sographetus, the purple spotted flitter. Okay, then the lilac silver line, the spotted royal reported from Kurk, the Brahmagiris and all. Okay, also as well as from Kerala. Okay, and the Nilgiri grass yellow. Okay, and the most interesting one is the common tit. Okay, so actually we don't have any similar species in the South India. Okay, so but it is reported from in the place near the Yana by our Puttaraju sir and team. Okay, So it's a common tit. So we need to study more about whether it is a common tit or any other species. Okay, or because it's we cannot find any similar species in this region. Okay. And even though we have seen a lot of the butterflies in the region, okay, so still some of the butterflies we are yet to the validate, or in the historically we have records in the in the literature, but we need to find out some of them. Okay, one is the blue baron. Okay, so blue baron is you may be finding it in the Sharavati, the forest ranges. Okay, so we hope that can be seen somewhere there, the Jog Falls or nearby areas. So it is more like likely the canopy flying butterfly. So I mean, but hopefully we'll be finding out it soon. Okay, then we have other two. One is the Mellitus nymphis, that is the mottle, and the darky. So these are in the records. Okay, in the historical records, these two are there. Okay, but recently no records from Karnataka, so we need to search it for. So the probable areas are the Coorg Brahmagiri ranges. We may be finding them. Okay, another one is the Kodagu brush flitter. Okay, so in the even in the museum specimen it is there. Okay, but we don't have any recent records of this one. So the I was trying to show the diversity. Okay, and in the sideline I was trying to tell how the citizen science is important, why you need to contribute into the citizen science platforms. Okay, so how that will be helping the science and I mean helping the people. So helping the end. So that's what I was trying to tell. Okay, so the sorry for the technical glitches. So I have some issue presently with the camera and all. Okay, so the most of my pictures are from iPhone butterflies. So I thank the all the contributors there. So the individual the credits are given. So the Dr. Kalesh has given some the insight on the distribution of butterflies here. So I talked with the Puttaraju sir, the Deepak Pradeep Nayak to update on the recent records from their regions. Okay, so thank you all. Okay, so thank you all for listening. So I think the cake is there. So
Yes. Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
so
We have a few questions from our viewers.
yeah.
One question from the chat is, which is the easiest first butterfly to attract to your city garden in Bangalore city with suitable nectar or host plant?
Okay, so actually, if you're looking in Bangalore, you can easily plant the curry leaves, lemon plants. So usually the common Mormons, lime butterflies will be coming. So you can plant the some Ixora or the pendas, some plants like that, so that the butterflies will be easily coming there. Okay, and also the plumbago plants. Okay, so the that are one is good nectar plant. Okay, then plants like the your the chamba, that is the magnolia. If you are planting that, you will be getting the common jet-tailed jay. So you can start with that. Okay, and slowly you can add into that one. Some if you add a few nectar plants and few host plants, you definitely you will be getting a lot of butterflies.
So when is nature walk?
When is the nature walk? So actually during all these days we have the nature walk in the JPRF. Okay, so up to 10 we have the nature walks. Okay, and usually in the Bangalore Butterfly Club is the conducting some nature walks. Okay, because of the pandemic we have some restrictions presently. Otherwise we'll be regularly conducting in every fortnight. Okay,
Sir, what we can take and go, sir?
I didn't
Right
get the
now
question. Can you repeat the question?
Right now, we are not having the walks for the public due to the COVID restrictions. When they are open, then you can find out from our website.
Okay. So any other questions?
Yes, sir. The next question, this previous question from Mr. Narendra. Next question we have, what is the fourth picture butterfly? I'm sorry, I'm not sure which slide this is from. This is the question from Suryansh. I think it came somewhere around before the common moment slide.
Okay, so
in the beginning of the talk.
This one. Okay, so we will be checking that one. So I don't know which exactly. Okay.
Yes, so we'll go to the next one. Sir, question from Aruna HN. Sir, are these your clicks?
No, some of them are my clicks. I told the other ones are given credits for all them. So I think all these are my clicks. Okay. So wherever I've taken from the iPhone Butterflies of India, the credits are going to that individual the photographers. So actually, when we are doing it quickly, I think that is the easier way to do. So I mean, I given credit for the. Whenever I taken from others, I given the credit for that one.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
What are the butterflies there in Banarghata?
Okay, so Banarghata, actually we have a butterfly park inside the Banarghata. So there you can see the early stages. So they'll be displaying some the caterpillars and the butterflies there. Okay, most of the common butterflies are there. Okay, the lime butterflies, the Piros, at least you can see some 20-30 species there. Okay, and not only there, so you can see some of them outside the park also, because that's the good vegetative area.
Okay, sir.
The next question is from Apurva and Sharada. Can you tell the differences between different grass yellows?
Grass yellows, yeah. So actually, the grass yellows, it depends. So usually, we'll be seeing the four-wing cell to count the how many spots are there. So if it is 3 spots, we'll call it as 3 spots grass yellow. In the common grass yellow, we have 2 spots, and 1 spot grass yellow, we have only 1 spot in the four-wing cell. Okay, and this is a spotless, so we'll call it as spotless. Okay. And that is how usually we'll name. Okay. And the Nilogric grass yellow having slightly different the criteria, so we need to see the upper wing to confirm the identification. So that is usually how we will be recognizing the grass yellows.
Yes, the next question is, sir, when did you start watching butterflies? How did you get interested into watching butterflies from Manidev?
Yeah, so it is actually I started watching them in the around the 2005-06 and all. Okay, so I mean it's very easy. So I mean nature is always calling us. We need to just start at some time. So that's all. Okay, so actually unlike others, I started watching moths first, then I came to butterflies. So that is the only difference. So
yes, so now the next question. Yes, sir. Shall I?
Yeah.
How is the expanding urbanization and rising carbon dioxide rich microclimate affecting the diversity? Have we observed any evolutionary or adaptive behavior?
So we don't have that much. We didn't do that much studies on to see the evolutionary behavior, but some of the papers you can read that you can see that some of them are adapting to the climate changes. They are changing the shapes, size, all that things. Okay, but the urbanization you can easily see it in Bangalore. So the areas in which actually I started watching them in around 2008 in Bangalore. Okay, so the areas where I was watching butterflies, now most of that places are not available for butterflies. So that all are converted into buildings. So that way, the lot of the habitat destruction is happening because of the urbanization. Okay, but to study to conclude regarding the global climatic changes, we need to have more studies and more researches to conclude something concretely.
Yes, sir. What advice would you give to youngsters who want to study butterflies, and in which aspect should they focus on? Swati, question from Swati.
Yeah. So it is up to you to take the which direction you need to move forward. So there are plenty of areas. So starting from the evolution, the taxonomy, the migration of butterflies, the the plant butterfly interactions, the butterfly and other organism interactions. So there are plenty of areas. So it is up to your interest and the opportunities to take up it forward. Okay, but butterflies are giving a lot of opportunities to you to learn. So you just utilize it. That's what I want to tell.
Yes. Next, which are the top 5 nectar plants for Bangalore city to plant to attract butterflies? Nectar plants.
Yeah,
From
nectar
question
plants.
from Narendra.
You can start with the Ixora. Okay, then the Pandas, Plumbago. Then you have most of your the common the garden plants will be attracting butterflies. Okay, so you need to usually when you are looking for a butterfly garden, so you can start with a few plants itself. So slowly they'll be coming. So whenever you are planning for a butterfly garden, so don't introduce only nectar plants. You try to put some host plant also, so that the butterflies making it as a habitat. So they'll be breeding on there and they'll be nectaring there. So that will be more sustainable than just putting the nectar plants. Okay, so you create an environment for the butterflies to grow there itself. So you have the mix of that one. Actually, the iPhone butterflies India having a big list of all the host plants pictures, all the nectar plant pictures. You can just scroll there. You will be getting a lot of information there.
Next question is from Raghavendra Bhatt, who's a teacher. He's asking, in our school, we are setting up Butterfly Park with assistance from Kalinga Foundation.
Yeah.
How to identify butterflies accurately without photographing?
Yeah, so the one or two things, I don't know the exact place where you are located. So the one thing is you can get the local the checklist of butterflies, which are the butterflies available in that area. So actually in this the iPhone butterflies website itself, you can give that area. So most of the time, at least the district wise, you can get the checklist, butterfly checklist. Okay, and then by using some field guides, okay, so you can use some hand on the field guides, you can compare them. If you don't have photograph, you can compare them with the field guide. Okay, and you have a lot of forums. Okay, so a lot of friends around those are willing to help, so you can reach out them. So that is the another way to the sort out that issues. So you can reach out into the some of our friends, so that they'll be trying to help you in that aspects.
Next question from Puttaraju. Could you please share the places where Indian cabbage white was sighted?
Yeah, Indian cabbage white, actually the Nilogric is generally will be calling, so the areas nearby the Nilogric. Okay, so I think it is recorded somewhere near the Coorg. Okay, and as well as I think there are some records from Kudremukh also. I need to check which are the recent records. Okay, so we'll check that one. So usually it is seen in the higher the elevation. Okay, and there are some stray records also, I think. So actually in earlier records somewhere it in Bangalore and all. So that may be probably come along with the host plants in the city. So such records also may be there.
Yes, sir. From Baswaraj Bede, we have a question. Is there any restrictions on collection and preservation of butterflies, which comes under Wildlife Act?
Yes. So, don't catch or collect butterflies unless you have the proper permission for it. Okay, so usually the research organizations are given the permission to collect butterflies. So usually that's why we can photograph it. You can observe them in your garden. So that is the way you can learn more about it. Okay, so otherwise the law is not permitting you to collect the butterflies.
Next question is from Kruti. Have you ever seen a life cycle of a butterfly?
Yeah. So I mean, usually I watch butterflies, and usually I'm more interested into the earlier stages and host plants. So we have seen a lot of life cycles. Okay, so especially in the Western Ghats region. So I mean, we have documented a lot of the butterfly early stages. So it is easier. So you plant some curry leaf or the lemon plant in your garden. So you wait for a few days, they'll definitely come on your plant. So you can definitely see them in your garden. So you need not wait for, I mean, you need not go anywhere to watch it. Yeah. So I think the Krishna Meg has raised his hand. Krishna Meg,
Vasu,
yeah.
can you unmute him? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So you need permission from the Office of the Principal Chief Executive of Forest, PCC, which is if you want to get a so you should get a if you have genuine scientific reason, then take permission for that. But otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the disturbance in the audio there. I think his audio.
Yeah, his audio was
Sir.
not clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So any other question? I think I am exceeding the time. So any other questions? Okay.
I think we are done, sir. There is one person who wants to know whether you can repeat the first wanderer in the slides.
First wanderer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually we have two wanderers. So one is the paranoia, the hippia, and the dark wanderer, the paranoia silenica. Okay, so actually these two are the Indian wanderer. Okay, so earlier we were calling it as common wanderer. Okay, so this is I mean the male. Okay, so and female is more darker. Okay, and this is the dark wanderer. Dark wanderer usually the black border on the upper wing will be more broad. Okay, so the black area will be more. So that is in the appearance it will be looking more dark.
can I quickly add to that? This is Kushmeg again.
Yeah.
So this name common wanderer has been applied to Indian butterfly quite a lot. The thing is, oh sorry, my voice was a little lower.
No, now it is correct.
Now it is clear.
I think this one I've copied somewhere else. Okay,
so what is for a long time we were using that name Pareironia valeria common
and now
wanderer.
it is hippia.
It is hippia, and we now have genetic data also to show that it is different from. So valeria and hippia are two different species. Hippia is found in India, valeria is found in Malaysia and south of Malaysia. So in Southeast Asia, you will find valeria. And I was saying that now we have genetic data to show that valeria and hippia are two different species. So the correct name for the Indian population is Pareironia hippia. And therefore we are calling it Indian wanderer now. Dark wanderer already Haneesh sir has mentioned. One more thing is normally on the dark wanderer, if you look at the forewing border, there won't be many white spots. In Indian wanderer, you will see there are white spots on that black border. So that's an easy way to distinguish them. Dark wanderer is mostly found in evergreen and semi-evergreen forests. Indian wanderer is found even in cities, in parks in cities. So that's a much more widespread species. That's it.
So sorry for that. Actually the list I copied from some old list.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Because when we are preparing the slides quickly.
So when there are different English names, alternative English name, that's okay.
Yeah.
But since here the scientific name was also involved, I just wanted to clarify.
So thank you, Haneesh, for the wonderful.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, your database is shows December and January is not a good time to see the butterflies.
No, not that one. That is was for a particular butterfly. So it may be different for different species. Okay. So I mean, it depends on the some butterflies are active after the monsoon. I mean, they'll be breeding more during the after the monsoon. So some of them are more active during the summertime, like the sports or Thailand, or we are seeing more number in summertime. So you need to see them in the individual species pages, so you can get the more idea about how they are distributed in the yearly.
Sorry, but you said all the butterflies database.
No, not, and actually this one particular one I shown only for this particular species.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
So actually, you can go to the website and the ifoundbutterflies.org. You can go to the individual species page and you can see that how it is distributed.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you please go back to the graciela slide? I have a doubt about how to identify them in the field, because the cell spot in the forewing is hidden, right?
Which one? I missed that. And so
He's asking about the grass yellows, sir.
Yeah, grass yellows. Yeah. So sometimes you can the one easier way is the forewing cells. Okay, but from other blues also you can make it out. Okay, so usually in the place, which place? So some of them are restricted into the forest areas. Okay, so but some of them are, you can see it in them even in the less vegetative areas. So depending on the distribution and depending on the size, the color of the apex, so we can make out most of them easily. Okay, not only I mean, even though if you are not seeing the forewing cell spots.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Haneesh, for the wonderful feast for the eyes of the butterflies of Karnataka, and for giving us so much information of the different species, the families they belong to, their features, their larvae, their food habits, larval host plants, climate requirements, and the places and areas where they can be seen, and a whole lot of other information too. I'm sure all the viewers have found the different butterflies shown and talked about fascinating, especially the number of different species found in the state. And many of our viewers must be already planning on setting out to see and document these wonderful and beautiful butterflies of Karnataka. So thank you again, Haneesh. And thank you all viewers for being here and enjoying this talk. I also want to remind you, you can see the poster on the screen. We had a talk yesterday by Ashok Sengupta, and we still have 2 more to go on the 8th of December by Nitin on butterfly biology for the citizen scientists, and also another one on 9th December, which will help answer a lot of the questions that were brought up today, where you can ask experts to answer your questions on how you can attract butterflies to your garden. So do attend the other 2 talks too, and enjoy the world of butterflies. Thank you.